Hello and welcome back to the world of Power Query. This is Trisha Jaktiani, and in this tutorial, I'm going to take you through some more transform techniques in Power Query. In the previous two tutorials, we have already seen how you can clean your data using the transform technique in the Power Query, and here I'm going to show you how you can make your data easily available or easily ready for further analysis. So today we are going to see the three most important techniques of the transform in Power Query, and that's the transpose, unpivot, and pivot. So let's begin and see how does this work. Looking at my data on this example sheet here, you can easily see that I have the students who have appeared in the exam and who have passed in those three different subjects that is given here, the names of the students who have appeared in the exam and the class that they belong to. If I just want to use or if I just want to change the way it is shown, that means I want this passed in subjects in the rows instead of the column, and the column which shows the class names into the rows, I can easily do that by using a transpose method in Excel also. But how do you use this in Power Query so that it automates it? I can just go on to the data, click on the get from the table or the range, and then I can either click on my table has a header or does not have a header. As of now, I'm going to say not have a header because I can transpose it and then make these columns as my header. So I can just click on OK. Once I do that, I can see that the Power Query editor window is open now. Under this window, I will go to the transform tab. Once I go to the transform tab, you can see the transpose given on the top. I can just click on transpose and very easy, it automatically changes the row to the column and the column to the row. And now I can use the use first row as a header option in the home tab to get the header to move to the, or sorry, the row to move to the header. Now you can see that the class has come in the rows and the rest of the things are now coming in the column as I wanted it. Now let's say that here you can see the data it is showing in the past in science, past in maths, and past in English. However, I have other things also available here which says students appeared in the science, students appeared in maths, and student appeared in English. Now what happens is if I look at this, it looks a little, I have to scroll it on the right, and it's not very easy for me to do further analysis like creating a pivot table from this if I want to in Excel. Now how do I do that in such a way that my class shows in one column, the next column shows me the number of past percentages, and the third column shows me how many students appeared from that class for that subject. So I want it in three different columns. So class, past, and the students appeared. All the three in three different columns. Now, how do I do that? In order to do that, we have already seen that we have done a transpose. I need to add one more step to it. The first thing that I will do here is I will first try and unpivot this data. How do I unpivot this data? Because as of now, it is showing me in the pivot column. What is unpivot? Unpivot means I can get this data in such a way that for every class, I will get past in science, past in maths, past in English. Students appeared in science, students appeared in maths, and student appeared in English in one column. So if I have to give you an example, it will show something like this. Let me first close and load this so that I can show you how we can work on that. Can I get it onto a new sheet? So now it is loading. So now I'm going back to show you how I want the new data to be shown. So here I have this data uploaded. What do I need is for the class A, I want all these information to be shown just below one another, all of these. So if I'm doing this, I need to, let's say, get the data in such a way, something like this, and the rest of the things need to show in the next column. So what is happening is now this is for A, and then comes for B, and then comes for C. For each one of them, it should show one under the another. If I want to do this, I can do this easily by using the unpivot column. If I wanted to do it in Excel, I'll have to actually transpose each of the rows and the columns accordingly and get the result, and that too have to do it every time manually. But if I wanted to do it in Power Query, it will automatically happen after the first time that you have done it. So just go to transform, click on unpivot columns, and this time I'm going to select the class because I don't want to unpivot class. I want the rest of them to be unpivoted. This has to remain as it is. So I'll say unpivot class, and then say unpivot other columns. So the class will remain as it is. The other columns will be unpivoted. You can see now the headers have gone down and now it is showing exactly past in science, past in maths, past in English. Students appeared in science, student appears in maths. So this is giving me the exact information how I wanted it to be seen. I can change the names here. I can leave it as attribute, or this can be the marks, or this can also actually not be marks because it looks a little weird. These are all the past students. Yeah, I can say number of students. So I can say this.
Congratulations on completing the business dashboard using Excel course. Ready to elevate your career? Join our postgraduate certificate in data science and AI and gain exclusive benefits like a complimentary Python programming bootcamp, 7+ case studies, dedicated student support, and access to our job opportunities portal. Don't miss out on this chance to transform your career. Invest in yourself today and join our program. Click on the link in the description to enroll now and take the next step in your career journey.
Here I'll have to leave it as attribute for now and then we'll see how it works. Now that I have got this data, I know that it looks a little weird when I want to show that people who have passed in science, maths and English, I can see that very easily here. But along with that, I also have the data for appeared in science, maths and English. What do I need is I want to show the past in one column, appeared in one column, so that it looks a little better. So I have one class, one is past and one is appeared. So these are three columns that I want to show you. How do I do that? In order to do that, I will use another transform method which is called as the pivot column. First, what I want is I want to split this data in such a way that one is past and one is appeared. Has to show in two different columns. How is that going to happen? Also split the data saying that past, and then I will also show the subject in two different columns. So then how will it show is class, past, appeared, and according to which, so class, past and appeared is going to come in one column and then it will show up in two different columns on the top, and plus it will also show me which subject have they passed in or which subject they have appeared in. That will also show up in this column. So in order to do that, first I will go and say split columns. Which column I need to split? The attribute one. So I'll say split column and I will have to say the extreme right. So let's say by delimiter, and in the delimiter I'll be using the delimiter as face, but there are three different options: leftmost delimiter, rightmost delimiter, and each occurrence of delimiter. In this case I need to split the delimiter which shows me the name of the subject, which is science, maths, and English. So what I want is the rightmost, which is the last space. So I'll say rightmost delimiter and click on OK. Once I do that, it will split into two different columns. One will have past in, another attribute will have. So this is the subject. So I'm just going to give this as subject. This I will call it as past or appeared. And here I will also have to do one more thing where the in I will have to replace it with a nil value. So I don't want that in to come. So I'll just say replace values in with nothing. So I'll just click OK. So students appeared in past, and then the subject that is given here, and that is how you get the data to split here. Now let's understand our requirement again. What I need is I need a column for the class. I need another column for the subject. I need a column for the past and appeared, two different columns. One which says past and the another column which says appeared. And the last one that I have, the number of students, should automatically come under the past or the appeared. So what will happen is wherever there is past will come under the past. Wherever there is students appeared, that number will come under the students appeared. In order to do that, I need to pivot the past or appeared column. Like I mentioned in the previous one, we have to understand that when you want to when you want to change the rows to the column, you will have to use pivot columns. If you want to change the columns into rows, that time you will be using the unpivot columns. So now that we want to change from the rows to the column, what we are going to do is we are going to use the pivot column. So I'll select the past and appeared one, say pivot columns. Once I say pivot columns, in this I'll have to select which one I want under these pivoted columns. So I want the number of students to be shown under the pivoted columns. Then click on advanced option. It will automatically pick as the sum. We don't want it to sum. I just want it to show the values as it is, not add or delete or count or anything. So I'll just say don't aggregate and click on OK. Once I do that, you can see that the past and the students appeared comes in the two different columns. Now the data shows like this. The class of AAA subject English, Maths and Science, you can see the past year, the Maths past year and the students past year, and accordingly the appeared numbers also appearing here. So this is how you can actually use your data to get the information that you have. You can now close and load the data to get the result as you were looking for in your database. Then now you can start working on your data analysis. I'm just going to delete this. This was just for an example. So this is fine. So now that you have got the unpivot, pivot, and the transpose methods of the transpose technique, it becomes very, very easier to use these when you have to do data analysis in Excel. So after you have loaded it in Excel. Hope you found this video tutorial useful and you will be using these information that I have shown here. Thank you for watching.